What does atheism have to offer us as individuals? Atheism offers us the idea that an individual life is limited. We live, we die, that's it. Extremely limited. Limits allow for the concept of relative worth. Relative worth implies relative value. The end result, it is logical for one person to judge another. Although this is contrary to the spiritual teaching of the Bible, which atheists don't really mind at all. Atheism offers us a definition of life. Life is what lies between birth and death. That's it. Nothing before, nothing after. And why? Is that all? That's all because there is nothing beyond the universe. Your existence is tied to one and only one thing, the universe. There is no soul. When you die, you die. If this sounds conclusive, it is. And this is what atheists believe. Keep in mind, however, that as limited as this sounds, it is nevertheless the beginning of an idea. It is the idea that you exist. This may also sound rather limiting, even insignificant, but it is a perception of what we are, and atheists have it. Under atheism, the picture we have of what we are may seem small and limited, but it is a picture nonetheless. It is the beginning of understanding the significance of the individual. The significance of the individual is one we ourselves are defining. The definition outlines a philosophy we have regarding ourselves. The definition that defines what we are acts as the foundation for the development of a universal philosophy. This universal philosophy may grow out of an understanding of a young species as regarding what their significance is for existing, but it needs answers that explain what the universe is, how the universe was created, why the universe was created, what the individual is, how the individual got here, why the individual was created, why the soul is, why the soul enters the physical universe, the purpose of a soul, and on and on. Atheism then only becomes the beginning point. And where does the definition begin? It begins with atheism and continues from there. Atheism has done us a great service. It is the first chapter in the book of understanding of what we are and why we exist, although it doesn't go beyond itself. Without the first chapter, the second chapter regarding the implications of CT or classical traditional theisms, such as Judaism, Christianity, Islam, etc., would be muddied and incomprehensible. Atheism must never be shoved aside and forgotten for what it is or was. We would lose the first step in understanding what we are as individuals. Without atheism, we would lose the understanding of what it is to be alone, to be without a causative force, and how this affects our behavior. Atheism is a good model for knowing what it is to be without God. What significance does atheism have to offer us as a species? Atheism gives us an understanding that we have some form of commonality as a species through the physical, emotional realms. Appearances now become important, for we are just what we appear to be. We exist within a universe, according to atheism, with no creator. The universe is, always was, and always will be. We, on the other hand, come and go. We have no soul under atheism. Our existence is confined to our universe. Under atheism, the value of the individual could be argued against such, just as well as argued for. We have to be careful about defining our significance as a species. We will create problems for ourselves and others if we do it in a fashion that will allow one person to logically be considered better than another. Doing so only opens up the possibility for some members of our species to logically subjugate other members of our species. As a species, we are very resourceful and have always had factions who take advantage of just such perceptions till this day. Atheism opens the door to rationalize the process of subjugation. This is a very dangerous situation for our species. With that rationale in place, what are we to say should we encounter a more advanced life form in space that may want to subjugate us as a species? Would we be not reaping what we sow? Could we logically say after the fact, no, don't do that, life is important, it is not right to subjugate others? It would be a little too late to say this, for we already would have established the definition of our significance. Atheism offers our species the opportunity not only to be subjugated, but to accept it. Finding a significance to life so airtight that no individual, no species can find a rationale for subjugating others may not be the end we should be striving for, but if it turns out to be one of the end results of our search for understanding, is that so bad? Ask people who have been absurd. Ask yourself if you feel comfortable if the logic existed for someone to be able to subjugate you. So what can we do? Once defining the causative force to be truly omnipresent, which religions call God, we place our universe within her, him, it. As such, we place our souls, all souls, within her. This elevates the significance of all of us. The final result, all souls, terrestrial or otherwise, become a part of the causative force. Subjugation and abuse become irrational and intolerable. In essence, with panentheism, we build a protective barrier of logic for our species, for all souls.